You got it. You stepped up to the plate and you bought yourself a Stihl BG 56 handheld leaf blower. Now what? All right, I took it home, and I really hope that when you took this home it was gassed and ready to roll and you got some instructions. If you didn't, pay attention to this video. If you did, pay attention to this video, because I'm going to teach you some things today that are going to be important for you getting the most life and benefits out of this machine. So again, the Stihl BG 56, what do I need to know? What do I need to do to enjoy this machine every week, every month, every year, however that looks in your life? And honestly guys, my Stihl blower right now is coming up on 15 years old. Yeah, it's going to be 15 years old. I've done so little to this thing as far as stuff beyond normal, regular maintenance. I run good fuel. I keep a clean air filter. I make sure that the spark arrestor is clean. And I have nothing going on with my machine. I love it. And I'd like you guys to be in the same boat. So let's talk about it today. The first thing, I found myself the other day, I grabbed my leaf blower. I was out blowing. I had my ear protection on, right? These are loud, so I want to protect my ears. So I have my ears covered, but I didn't have my safety glasses on. What, safety glasses? Stuff isn't throwing up at me. It does, right? So wear your safety glasses. Let me put those on a different way. Wear your safety glasses. Protect your eyes. As you're coming into a tight area, maybe that alcove by your front door, that stuff can blow up. There you go. You just got crap in your eyes and you can't see, and you're walking around and trying to blow and tripping and all that stuff. So eye protection, ear protection, right? Okay, simple sidebar. I know I do that often, but I catch myself being lazy from time to time. It's not worth it. Take that extra 5 seconds and grab your safety gear. Fuel. This is a 2-stroke machine, right? This is running on mixed fuel. I'm not going to just go get gas and put in crankcase oil. I need to mix my oil. So, more than likely, you got this Stihl HP Ultra. I love the small ones right here, these 1 to a gallon. So I'm going to take one of these bottles and put it in a 1-gallon can. Why? Why do I love these 1 to a gallon? Why do I want the smallest? I want to go through fuel. We've talked about it before, how short the shelf life of fuel is. I know I have people say, no way, I never have a problem with my gas. Awesome. You know what? Some of us are lucky that way. Others of us get our butt kicked all the time by bad fuel. So I want to go through my gas in like 2 months. If I buy this, I'm more likely to. So buy small amounts and mix it up. Or for the ultimate, you picked up Moto Mix. Expensive, we know it, right? This is $9 for a quart, $32 for a gallon. And probably only gonna go up, so when we watch this video in like 3 or 4 years, it's gonna be like $40 a gallon. I know, that's expensive. But let's talk about the benefits of it. This is pre-mixed, so I don't need to think about my mixing. It is ethanol free. Yes, we can get ethanol free at the pump, but this is a better ethanol free. In our part of the country, 93 octane, we don't buy 93 octane. Our ethanol free is 89 or 90 octane. So it's a high octane, ethanol free, and it is designed for this type of equipment. It's not designed for cars, it's designed for small power equipment. And it's designed for shelf life. So even if you don't run this all the time, when I hibernate this machine, honestly, do you pull your blower out in January and February? Some people do, but a lot of people don't. They don't want to be outside. So it's the back of their mind. So you don't want to pull this out in March, April to start the season, and it won't start. So when you hibernate, go with the Moto Mix. All right, we got the fuel, oil, that's figured out, right? Always mix your fuel. What happens when you don't? We'll talk about that someday, but you'll kill your machine. What else do you need to know, maintenance-wise? Let's pull it around. We got an air filter. Depending on the time of year, depending on what the weather is, this air filter may or may not get dirty. So if I flip this little thumb screw, we'll call it, on the back sideways, and I pull this off, there's my air filter right there. I've got to pull out this little piece, and then I can pry out my air filter. It's fairly cheap. They're going to be less than $5. You can wash it, but it's very dense. The back of this is very dense, and it takes a while to dry. So don't come up with some idea to maintain it and then use it later in the day. So keep an eye on your air filter, run good gas. I've got my spark plug hiding right under here. Whenever you go to pull this spark plug boot, make sure that you kind of wiggle it off like that. If you just pull it off, I see some bad things happen. You end up ripping the boot off of the wire, and that becomes a fairly expensive repair that you don't want to have to do. How often should I change my spark plug? Why not do it every year or two? They're cheap. It's kind of preventative, right? Why have a spark plug go when you need to use this machine? And the most common problem is the spark arrestor. So right in the front, see the muffler? You see this little pipe sticking out right here? Right? If I can't even see it. Right there? It's a little screen on the end of that. And the purpose of that is to reduce the risk of sparks coming out and starting a fire. Which, when it's dry, you understand that could happen. So here's my spark arrestor. It's a little screen. I can see through it. But over time, especially when I don't run this thing hard, that spark arrestor will turn black with carbon, and this machine will not be able to exhaust well. So it's kind of choking itself out. So how do I avoid a spark arrestor getting plugged? Running good fuel and oil, so i.e. the Stihl HP or the Moto Mix. Running it wide open, so that throttle trigger fully pulled. I know there's times where you can't. There's times where you gotta pussyfoot around a little bit, but you gotta use this machine, because if you're not running it hard, that oil is not getting burnt well. Okay. A clean air filter, that's a small thing, but a dirty air filter is going to restrict airflow, which is going to make it run rich. Those would be the things that I see are the most common. There's some other things that can come into play with it. Stale gas, right? Stale gas doesn't burn as well. Keep an eye on your spark arrestor, keep a clean air filter, throw a new spark plug in once in a while, and you should avoid some of those issues like a spark arrestor. And then finally, you got this machine ready to go out and start it. Josh, you talked all about this other crap. Cool. How do I start it? How do I start this and make it work the best for me? So it is always on run. Here's my switch. So I don't need to worry about that. When I pull it off the shelf, I don't need to do anything here. I do need a primer. And the primer is right here. Right there is the primer, okay? And I'm gonna push this thing 4 or 5 times, like so. Enough to move the fuel from the tank through the carburetor and back down. I can't flood it by priming it, but I can under prime it, I would say. If I don't give it enough primes, I may just pull more times on choke. And the choke is this little black lever switch right here. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise. That's going to set the choke. That choke is attached to the throttle trigger, so as soon as I hit the trigger right here, it shuts the choke off. So make sure when you go to pull the rope, you hold behind the throttle trigger. Choke it. This has an easy start. Don't rip it. Don't be strong. Just pull. If I do this, eventually I'm going to damage this starter. I'm going to screw up a rope. I'm going to screw up a spring, because you're hitting the end of the rope so hard every time. So just pull. And if you don't want to hold it up in the air like I'm doing, you can put it down. You can put your, usually I'll put my right foot beside it, like so. Kind of cradle it with my knee and pull. Maybe you want to sit on it like this, probably not. Anyways, that's how you pull the rope on the Stihl BG 56. Don't rip it. It's another one of the things I see happen is you loan it out to a friend who doesn't know how to start. I know I covered a lot of stuff. You got your owner's manual too, right? You can always refer back to this owner's manual. It's in here. It's going to cover some of the maintenance schedule, a lot of the safety stuff, the stuff you need to do to get the most out of it. Hey, thanks for picking up the Stihl BG 56. I hope that in 10 and 15 years you can be bragging about how awesome this is to your friends, how it's caused you no problems, how you go out on the weekends and you clean up your lawn and it always looks good. Keep watching our videos. Keep giving us comments. Thanks for being a part of our family at Carl's Mower and Saw. Hey, this is Josh from Carl's Mower and Saw. Thanks for watching our videos. We're proud of the fact that we've been serving you with the best in outdoor power equipment since 1990. We're glad that you had an opportunity to sit down, watch our videos, learn something about an exciting new product that we have, something that interests you for your property, or really how to use your equipment to the best of its ability. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube. We're excited to share more information with you. See you soon.